Hello, first graders. For our first unit of math, we're going to take a look at numbers and explore how we use them in our everyday lives. We're also going to take a look at a couple of different tools we'll be using in math to help us with our counting and our problem solving. The first tool that we're going to take a look at is called a number grid. A number grid is a grid with numbers placed in their correct position. Let's take a look at a number grid. This is an example of a number grid you might see in math. It has numbers that are arranged in rows and columns, and they're arranged in a specific order. So they start with the smallest number and go up to the greatest number. When we count on a number grid, we count the same way we would read from left to right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I can use the number grid to help me count forwards like you just saw. I can also use it to help me count backwards. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. I can use a number grid to help me with my skip counting. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I can use it to help me count by fives. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I can use it to help me count by tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Tomorrow in class, we'll take a closer look at a number grid and we'll practice using it to help us with our counting and our problem solving. Let's take a look at another tool we'll be using in math to help us with our counting and problem solving. The next tool we're going to be looking at is called a number line. A number line is a line with numbers placed in their correct position. Let's take a look. This is an example of a number line that you'll see in math. It has numbers that go in a specific order in a straight line. This number line starts at 0 and goes to 10. Just like with a number grid, I can use my number line to help me count forwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Backwards. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I can use it to help me with my skip counting. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Along with the number grid, we'll take a closer look at the number line tomorrow in class and we'll practice using it as well. Now let's talk about numbers. We use numbers every day, and today we're going to start talking about how we use numbers in our everyday lives. One way we use numbers is when we tell time. All of these clocks have numbers on them, and these numbers let us know what time of day it is. If we didn't have numbers on these clocks, we would have no idea what time of day it was. That means you'd have no idea when to get up in the morning, when to go to bed, and when to come to school. We also use numbers to tell temperature or how hot or cold it is. We use a tool called a thermometer that has numbers on it to let us know how hot or cold it is outside. We use a thermometer on an oven to let us know how hot the oven is when we're cooking. You may have even had your temperature taken with a thermometer when you were sick. This is an example of a digital thermometer that also lets us know how hot or cold it is. Another way that we use numbers in our everyday lives is in cooking and eating. When you go to the grocery store and you're helping your mom or dad pick out your groceries, you might notice that some of the packages have this label on them. This label gives us the nutrition facts for the food we're eating, or it tells us what kind of things are in our food. We also see numbers on recipes when we're cooking. If I didn't have these numbers on this recipe for my chocolate chip cookies, I wouldn't know how much stuff to put in, and my chocolate chip cookies might not turn out right. We also use numbers when we're shopping. Numbers tell us how much an item costs. We need these numbers to tell us how much an item costs so we can make sure we have enough money to buy what we need. All right, now that we've talked about numbers and I've given you some examples of how we can use them in our everyday lives, and now that we've looked at the number grid and the number line, let's talk about what we're going to do tomorrow at school during math. Tomorrow at school, we're going to talk about how we use numbers in our everyday lives. We're going to practice our counting on our number grid and our number line. And we're also going to create our very own number collection booklets. And I'll tell you more about those tomorrow. To get ready for math tomorrow, I have some homework for you to do tonight. First of all, I want you to see how high you can count. Maybe you could practice with a mom or dad, brother or sister, or another family member. Once you've gone as high as you can go, I want you to challenge yourself and see if you can count backwards too. Finally, I want you to take a look around your house for numbers. Where do you find the numbers? How are the numbers being used? I want you to talk with a family member about how you use numbers in your everyday life, and I want you to come to school tomorrow ready to share your ideas. All right, first graders, that's it for tonight. I'll see you tomorrow at school.